Good morning, everyone. We are going to be playing through One-Eyed Kutkh. We're going to go with Kutkh. Say that the second K is silent here. It was developed by Baba Yaga Games. It's released by Sometimes You. It's out. I'm playing on the Xbox One X. It's also available for PS4 and I believe Switch. Now, this is a short game. I'm going to do an entire playthrough, and I'm going to show you how to get all the achievements best I can remember, because, it has been a couple of days. They really don't explain much. But in the options, you can pick a certain scene, or just start the game. So, for our purposes, this isn't good. This still has my old game on it. Okay, so it does actually save your old game. So, gonna have to do this one real quick. We will finish it up. It's a point and click adventure. So this stream, when I redo the video for YouTube, it will have this beginning part cut out, and it will just be at the very beginning. The reason why it is here is because I had to come back and get one of the last achievements. So, there's no English spoken, no subtitles. You kind of have to figure out everything on your own. Which there is no problems with. It's fairly easy to figure the game out. Trying to figure out the achievements, that can be a little more difficult. As I said, this is the very end of the game. Not that we won't get here fairly quickly. It's got a great little visual style. The game is based on far north. Let me see how it's. It is far north, or far east, northeast folklore. The Kutkh. Yeah, we'll go with the pronunciation of Kutkh. Is a raven spirit. So they've kind of changed it a little here, and it's usually the raven is a central figure in creation myths, and he's also plays a big part in the way that the sun and the moon interact with each other. So they've kind of changed it a little bit. So to start out, this is the screen you'll normally get when you start. You just click start, and here you are. You are in your spaceship. Now, you're just trying to get back home, as you can see. This is the very first achievement that you can get is coming up here. So obviously you're having a little bit of trouble with your spacecraft. So you've got to pick from up here what you're going to do. The very first achievement is to press the same button, I think it's 3 or 4 times in a row. So don't pull any of the knobs or the levers. Just pick one of the buttons. It doesn't really matter which one because they're all going to be about the same. Or they're all going to do the exact same thing. But after you've pressed or interacted with 4 of the items, it's going to have the story continue. So to get the achievement, you have to do the same button 4 times. And unfortunately, you crash. The game has beautiful music, and it's got a really cool graphic style. So all you're going to do now is pick up all of your parts. And you've got to place them back in your ship. Because really, you just want to get home. So you figure out where they correspond to. And as you can see, there's only 3 of the 4 laying there. And we had to move the one cover to find the one. So now if you look, there's now a giant subterranean hole. And you jump in it. Now, the next achievement that you are... Actually, no. I take that back. There are 2 achievements you can get in this area. The first... You enter, or you go out the left exit. Then you come out the center exit. And you can kind of interact with things here. But in order to get this achievement, you cannot go through the top exit. Because if you go through the top exit, you're not allowed to come back down through here. So the reason why you save this one for last is there's an achievement to see all of the dreams. And if you don't go through the first 2 exits, you won't see the fish dream or the bird dream. So you just wait until you've seen all the dreams, and you get another achievement. Then you hop around, come out the exit here, and then you will get an achievement for exiting through all, or discovering all the exits to the labyrinth. Oh, you can actually go down. Never mind. It's just quicker that way. So you're not coming up here and then going back down and then coming back up here. And as you're climbing up, you can hit the sprocket, which will kind of pop up different, or it'll pop up little things, but unfortunately they don't tell you where it is. You just get the same animation that it's lost, pretty much. It's a retelling of the story. So you can skip those and just keep climbing straight up. And see that there's the sun and the moon. Bottom one's the moon, top is the sun. You have to come over, take a look at the moon, who looks kind of depressed. But you can see he's floating around on something that may be helpful to you. Then you work your way over to the sun, take a look at him, and see he's got a little something that might be helpful. But you have to figure out a way to get it from them, because they're not just going to give it to you. So you take a look around. And every time you look, you get like a little bit of the story. Or more a little bit about the myth.
Howdy.
But it's never really explained in detail. You kind of have to piece it together yourself.
Howdy.
So all you're doing here is you're trying to find something that you can use in place of your broken piece. And he gets so upset, so cranky. But we'll come over here and we'll yank these pieces off the wall.
Howdy.
And this last piece you can't grab because even with all your weight, you're not strong enough to yank it off. So then he gets this kind of like evil look on his face. What can he do?
Oh.
So you build your little contraption here.
Tinkerero darte.
And then he's developing an evil plan again.
Oh.
And then you can just figure out what you can do with it.
Howdy. Howdy.
And the game pretty much walks you through what you need to do. So it's not that difficult. Like I said, the only thing
Tinkerero darte. Jinda.
that can be a bit difficult is if you're trying to decipher a couple of the achievements. Which, of course, the very first one, pushing the button 4 times. Then you just have to come and talk to the sun and the moon. And of course, you know, bribing giant celestial bodies with trinkets
Jinda.
is probably frowned upon. But we do what we have to do. The moon looks so depressed.
Jinda.
Now, you have started an argument between the sun and the moon. This will pop up another achievement. And all of this movement is controlled by the game, so you're just sitting here watching it play out. But unfortunately, your idea of a spaceship isn't really... Your plan doesn't work out too well. So you're still kind of stuck. So now, not only do you not have a working spacecraft to get home, you also, trap the sun and the moon, so they're not going to show up. Which, of course, is going to concern the villagers.
Ziba. Zebra. Zebra.
And you just have to pick one of them to go up. This is like my third or fourth time playing through, and I've picked a different one each time. So it doesn't really matter which one you pick. Although the same one, the one that I picked on the far right, is the one that will always have the sprocket. So whichever one, if you pick one of the others, they will just walk over and get the sprocket from him. So the little sun picture, or whatever that is, it's just kind of points you in the direction you need to go. So now you can get another achievement. All you have to do is click on a fish. And you can click on anything that's kind of bright. They kind of bounce around. But nothing happens with them. The fish do flips. But when you touch a fish, it's I believe 100-point achievement for touching a fish. I believe there's 10 achievements in the game. All of them are worth 100 points. So there are 3 achievements that are actually 4 achievements that are kind of easy to miss. The first one is the 4 buttons. The next one, which you don't get right away, is you have to reach the end of all of the branches. So if you have a chance to walk further out to the end of a branch, make sure you take it. Because there is a level, like right here, you would stop normally, and that would be it. So you need to make sure you walk all the way out here. And you get to see a cute little spider. There's nothing for playing with the spider. But you do need to... You still need to do it. You don't need to play with the spider. You need to walk out to the end of the branch. So there are a couple of spots, like I said, that you don't instinctively, unless you're checking, you won't go all the way out. So that's one of them. And everyone has a ladder. Well, at least that guy does. The first 2 people have ladders sitting there. And this is another spot that you might not think to walk out because the person you need to talk to is right there. This fish, you can change his scales just to see what they do. And if you don't get the achievement, or if you forgot to touch a fish lower, all you have to do is touch that one, and you'll get the achievement there. So unfortunately, this guy does not have a ladder for you. It would have been nice if he did. So if the little eye icon pops up, it's probably a good idea to use it. because that will usually help you do something else. So, and you have to walk all the way out to the end of that branch to get the bush. You can break things in the game, just, you know. But you can't walk further to the right here, but you do have to at least walk to the right. Because if you don't, you'll miss it. The first time I played through, I totally missed that one. And see, if you use the eye icon, it allows you to realize that you can use this shape as a ladder. The reason that's important is because you have to visit with the bears 3 times, I believe, for another achievement. And this is the only way to get up there.
Zeno.
So, and the 3rd time he will actually refuse, but that is when the achievement will pop up. More fish for you to play with if you want.
Ziba.
Doodle.
Zinzaba.
Doodle.
And then once you've gotten your little ride up, come over and
Ziba.
you don't even have to go over. You can just ask him from right here. You ask him from right here. Then you hop on. You get to use the dog sled.
Zinzaba.
And no one has any clue whatsoever about this missing little sprocket. But in order to move, you've got to do it. So now we've flipped up to the next level. And if you just ask them about going up, you can miss this next achievement. Or this is where the branch one comes in handy, or where you might miss it, is if you don't come all the way out. And you can see right there, there's an ermine, or a ferret. You have to
Ziba.
touch him, click on him, and that's another 100-point achievement.
Doodle.
Zinzaba.
Doodle.
But if you miss him right there, it's okay. Because you can still walk all the way out here. And you can touch him from there.
Nina. Nina.
So come out to get to talk to the sun and the moon. Call them. They show up there. And then you should have the 100-point achievement for reaching all branches.
Oh.
Now, the only achievements that should be left, if I'm remembering correctly, are to refuse the ship 3 times, and
Ziva, Terbe.
refuse giving the ship 3 times, and solving the conflict between the sun and the moon. And this is where I started up at the beginning of the game, or the beginning of the stream. Now, if you want, you can hop through all of these little holes or the exits to see what the difference is. The main difference here is you're no longer fishing. But we're just gonna hop down here.
Ziza, Zazami.
So you have to click on the spaceship, and you basically tell them you want it and the reason why. Now, this is the tricky part. You have to grab the spaceship and drag it back to you. You being, you know, the one-eyed Kutkh. So you do that 3 times. And then you will have gotten the achievement for I can't remember, I think it's called Stubborn, which is refusing to give the boat 3 times. And then you finally just grab it, decide to give it to him.
Zinzaba.
He reveals that he has your missing piece. Everyone's happy. He fixes the ship himself. Instead of going through the middle of the planet, he's just gonna, you know, walk around because it is so small. Why not? So the very last achievement is to solve the conflict between the sun and the moon. And you can do it any way you want. If you stick them both in there, it won't work. If you stick both of them outside, it won't work. So what you have to do is pick one to put on the inside, one to put on the outside. And they realize they need to share. So they will now take turns with the weird object you made from breaking apart the spaceship. So now the sun will rise, the sun will set, there will be a moon. They will take turns. And everyone lives happily ever after. And that is Eyed Kutkh. And if I'm pronouncing that wrong, I'm sorry. It was developed by Baba Yaga Games. It's published by Sometimes You. It's out now on Xbox One X. It's a $5 game. As you can see, it takes about half an hour to run through the entire game and get all the achievements for 1,000 gamer score. As much as I love gamer score, sometimes short games really annoy me because I don't want to put the money out for a game that I'm not going to play much. This one, I love the art style. The music is gorgeous. And it's a really cool little thing. I mean, it actually got me on the internet looking up some more of the history or the folklore behind what a kuth is. But anyway, it's out now on Xbox One, PS4, Switch. Make sure you go and give it a look. This is TG Ace of Hearts. I'll catch you later.